Welcome to Fast Fridays, presented by Maconi Setup Shop. We've revamped the format for the series this season, and tonight we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars at Chicagoland as one of our qualifying races for the upcoming monthly money race here in Maconi Entertainment. For those of you who haven't joined us before, Fast Fridays is a weekly series by Maconi Setup Shop featuring a variety of car and track combinations each week. With the revamped format we're seeing this season, drivers enter in order to race in 3 qualifying races, but the top 20 in points out of those 3 races automatically locking into said money race. My name's Justin Prince. Alongside me once again is Jacob Reeves, with David Kreutz working the controls as our producer. AC cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Jacob, tonight we're at Chicagoland, a fast and fun track with this type of race car that gives these drivers a lot of freedom to run every single line out there, especially under the lights. What can we expect to see here tonight as the drivers prepare for the second race this month?
Well, Justin, I'm telling you right now, we're in for a hell of a race here tonight with these Xfinity cars at Chicagoland. And this track, I'm telling you, this place right here is damn near like a cheese grater on these tires here at Chicagoland. It's very, very unfortunate that they do not run here anymore within, NASCAR, next-gen Xfinity trucks or what have you. Very unfortunate that they do not run here anymore, because this is one of my favorite tracks. I absolutely love this place. Very, very bumpy going into turn 1. You can be real easy. As you see right here, we're the 24, right there where Jeff actually went over it right there. There is, I guess you could say, a spot right there on the bottom and in the middle where it's just like hitting a pothole. You can basically bounce the whole car out from up under you. This is a bumpy, worn out racing surface, but Justin, a lot of drivers love to be able to manhandle the car, and that's how you end up earning those wins. And I think that's what we're in store for tonight. It's going to be a hell of a show.
And in turn, these drivers get ready for what's expected to be at least a one-stopper when it comes to the fuel. We're talking about tonight's distance, 75 minutes or 80 laps, whatever comes first. Normally, when it goes the full distance without caution flags, a race like this normally can go about 40 minutes. If we get cautions, we trend towards the 75 likely here tonight. So a lot to keep in mind as these drivers get themselves prepared for tonight's action. Remember, this is the second race of the month, as talked about, with the Legend Cards at Hickory being the last race in the qualifying rounds next week before the Gen 4 money race at Talladega, with $250 going to said winner. Plenty of drivers tonight making their way through qualifying, including Michael Curhan, who is up at the top of the board, just setting that time over Chris Gilbert. Both of those drivers in the 30.1s as the session comes to a close. 15 total drivers taking times, but many more registered as part of tonight's festivities here on this Friday night. With that being said, it's time to look at how the field starts itself tonight for tonight's Fast Fridays race. Curhan and Gilbert on the front row, as just mentioned. Ryan Rose from the action scene throughout the iRacing world, including Saturday nights in this car. Starts third alongside Brandon Ring. Gabriel Gatti starts alongside Jeffrey Maconi. Maconi set at a time very late in the session. The rounding of the top 10 includes Connor Truman, Logan Romney, alongside Charles Tuttle and Chris Jennings. Of note, Jacob, your top 17 in this session are officially in.
Absolutely. And Jonathan Ross will start in the 11th spot. Ryan Libby will be in that 12th spot. Simon Woodson will be in 13th. Hullen Kauser, one of the men that have been out here a bunch of times out here on Fast Fridays, he will start 14th. Aaron Shiflett, Sendit Shiflett, rather, in the number 15. He will start in the same position that his car number is, 15th. And then rounding out the field, there's a couple of other drivers that is out there, 16th and 17th. I'm trying to look for them on the grid right now. Michael Mueller, he is in that 17th spot, as well as Alex Fox in the 16th spot. And the rest of these drivers came in, took a couple of I guess they could have, honestly, Justin, I think they might have come in here, took a couple of time trial laps, may have seen what Michael Curran ended up putting on the board, and maybe said, uh-oh, we might be in some trouble, and they may not have been fast enough to be able to try to get out here. But here's some of the guys that came out and took a time here tonight in the session.
That includes, interesting enough, two drivers with near identical the same name, Pod 1 and Pod 2. I have a strong feeling they may be the same person, but let's not go there. But let's talk about the Maconi Setup Shop race analysis. As the race control instructs the drivers on what to expect tonight, let's talk about what to expect in terms of distance once again. 80 laps, 75 minutes, full fuel tanks, no tire limit. Automatic cautions, which can be turned to quickie yellows in this series. And we are using the Xfinity Series / Grand National cars. 3 green-white checkers are available if necessary. And it is a cool racetrack with us starting at nearly 11 p.m. in sim. The track conditions 72, air temp 73 is the track temp on iRacing Day, May 15th, 2024, on a windy day in Joliet, Illinois. Your keys to win.
Well, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be about the tires. Everybody's, I mean, it's like I said, this track, very, very worn out, much like an old Atlanta, or hell, at this point, let's go with Dover. Dover, as a lot of NASCAR fans out there would know, Dover is just straight up worn out. I mean, all but get out. So that's exactly what you're going to end up being right here. But, you know, with the fuel and everything else, these guys can go just a little bit over 40 laps on a full tank of gas. What I think they're going to end up doing is splitting this sucker right down the middle, Justin. If we go green all the way, they're going to split it down the middle, go 40 and 40 to make it all the way to the end. But tire management, that's going to be the key to whoever wins this race.
The drivers are all set to go. We're glad to have you with us. It's Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. It's underway from Chicagoland.
Michael Curran, he's going to get a pretty good jump right here on the bottom side. Chris Gilbert up there on the top side. Here comes Ryan Rose. He's going to try to take a shot down on the bottom, but Gilbert's going to jump down and follow Curran up off of turn number 2. They've got to be very careful coming down this back straightaway. It is not a straightaway. It is curved as all get out. As Rose starting to peek that nose down on the bottom side, and Brandon Ring up there in the 31 trying to see if he can work some magic on the top side.
So far, so strong for Gilbert, but it's Michael Corhan who leads things off here tonight. Battle is on to start things off for the side-by-sides for third, but most of the field already setting the trend of sticking to the bottom. Corhan can't stick there. Here comes Gilbert for the lead.
Wow, Curran, he almost got up into the fence coming off of turn 2, and here comes Chris Gilbert in the number 45. Gets a huge run down on the bottom side. Don't look now, folks. The boss man, Jeff Maconi, has just cracked himself into the top 5 and is now battling with Ryan Rose. Rose up on the top, Maconi down on the bottom. But up front, Chris Gilbert bypasses Michael Curran, and he will take the lead. And here comes Jeff Maconi. He's going to go by Curran coming off of 2.
The bottom line seems to be the line so far, even with the tire saving factor early. Corhan already losing a lot of ground trying to save a bit in turn 3. So, right now 15 drivers on the racetrack of note. 2 drivers did not take the green flag, Jonathan Ross and Alex Fox. Most of the field currently staying within 2 seconds, nearly going already. And in turn, with this being a multi-groove racetrack where in the past you can have 3-4 wide essentially, or 3-4 different racing lines. What's the preference with the oval refresh last month in your opinion now?
Well, I think what it's going to be is it's going to be right where these guys are running right here at the front. Chris Gilbert, Jeff Maconi, Michael Curran, Ryan Rose, basically the top 5, all 5 of them running right on the bottom of the racetrack. That is going to be where you're going to end up saving a lot of tire. But you can get a run up on the top side, which is what Jeff Maconi is trying to do, trying to build momentum on this top side. And you're going to see him close in big time right here on Chris Gilbert. Thought he was actually going to have a little bit more of a run to try to drive up, but he's going to get right up to the back bumper as they go into turn 3. But that is where you want to save the tire at. If you want to try to get the momentum, wow, they almost, both of them almost slammed straight into the fence coming off of 4. But if you want to save the tires, be on the bottom. If you want to be fast, go up to the top.
Right now, Jeffrey Maconi's making it clear he wants to be fast enough to pass for the race lead. He looks for the ramp off the corner. Side by side. Up to the outside goes Chris Gilbert. Gilbert lets by Maconi, the boss man, to the race lead for the first time this evening. And already several lead changes. 3 different leaders, in fact, in the first 6 laps.
And good man for Jeff Maconi to be able to get around Chris Gilbert. Jeff Maconi last time we was here at Fast Fridays at Chicagoland, he put up a hell of a fight, did not end up getting the win. Actually got up into the turn 2 wall, which I'm sure he's having a couple of flashbacks every single time he comes off a turn 2 going into the back chute. But, I mean, you know, good drive by Jeff, good drive by Chris, and a lot of other drivers, as you see, this race is really starting to get spread out. Everybody is basically just in a single file line. The only driver that I really saw that actually tried to work the top was Jeff Maconi to go ahead and try to get up to the front. But as hard as he was pushing, I mean, he started 6th. He's all the way up to 1st. How much punishment did he give those tires? How much tire wear does he have at this point? Justin, we'll see how it all plays out right here, but 9 laps into this sucker, coming to 9 laps in, Jeff Maconi leading.
You know who I've noticed is amongst those using the bottom and the top efficiently? Connor Truman has been running quicker than the race leaders for the past 5 laps. He's the 3rd place car. About 10 years ago plus, he was a one-time go-kart racer at Sugar River Raceway in Illinois. This is a home race for him, mind you. Obviously, a lot of times passed since 2013. But since then, Truman, amongst those looking very quick, running up to a couple 100s to about a 10th quicker than the leader these past many laps already.
Yeah, I mean, he is starting to reel him in pretty good. I mean, he's right there, right about half a second back from Jeff Maconi. And Gilbert, he has not actually give up at all at this point. He is still basically just following in the tire tracks of Jeff Maconi. But I would be watching out, like you said, for this number 54 right here, Connor Truman. He is starting to put down some pretty good laps as he's sitting right out of back. And there you see right there, starting to close it in right there, coming off of the corner. So he is, I mean, he's all over the place. He's up top, down on the bottom, right in the middle. These guys, they're going to have to be searching for grip. As you see, a little bit of 2-wide action going on back there in the back. That's Ryan Libby and Gabriel Gata, I believe that is. Both of these guys, actually, excuse me, that's Brandon Ring up there on the top side. But a lot of action going on back here with a lot of other guys up at the front, basically just riding and trying to save some tires. But we got some hard racing going on back here with Brandon Ring and Ryan Libby and others.
Ring's getting very lucky that he hasn't slammed doors with some of these drivers, because Libby's been all over the track, Chris Jennings is all over the track, Ring is even all over the racetrack. You had Gotti nearly make contact with both of them last time around, Jennings and Ring. And in turn, these drivers are fighting very aggressively back here, and a lot of these drivers, very much so, have already scraped some doors, including Ring.
Yeah, there's been a lot of door banging going on back here, Justin. I'm telling you right now. But I mean, you know, that's the thing about this Xfinity car. It's actually, or the B Open car, I should say. It is one of the hardest cars to drive on the oval side. It is absolutely a pain in the tail to drive this thing, but it's fun, and that's why a lot of drivers love to drive this car. I mean, it's a pain in the tail, but they absolutely love it. I mean, it's like marriage. It's a pain in the tail, but you love it. I mean, that's the only, you know, comparison that I can make out of the whole thing, Justin. These cars are absolutely fun, and you're seeing a lot of great racing up here at the front now. Gilbert, he is still putting the pressure on Jeff Maconi. Both of them get a little bit sideways coming off of 2. Both of them almost slammed the fence, but here we go. Maconi still got the lead. Gilbert right behind him, and check it out. Curran has actually jumped back up here. He started on the pole. He's actually reeled in Connor Truman. He may have a shot for 3rd right here on the front stretch.
Will anybody try and make some swaps around here? Doesn't look to be the case in the early going. But a few drivers like Maconi and especially Truman now are trying that top line again. It looks like it's starting to become a bigger in-play line here now that we've had 15 laps in, with drivers trying to experiment. Not in 3 and 4, though. In 1 and 2, more so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, 1 and 2, that's really where they are going to experiment over there. 3 and 4, I'm telling you right now, you can run the top. Maybe, I mean, if you're good enough, you can run the top in 3 and 4. But you got to be very, very careful, because that turn 4 wall will jump up and bite you in a heartbeat. It has done it to me numerous times here on the service. So a lot of drivers, like you said, I mean, like we was talking about, a lot of them keeping it pinned down on the bottom side. Everybody experimenting over there in 1 and 2. Who's going to take that chance to try to even think about trying to do that in 3 and 4? We'll see what happens. But check this out right here. Michael Curran all the way down trying to go to the grass, folks. You can go down on the apron to do what you got to do. This ain't like Talladega or Daytona or the new Atlanta. You can go basically anywhere. I mean, you can go all the way to the damn hot dog stand in the infield if you want to try to make a pass if it ends up working for you. I mean, you can go wherever. So that's very typical for drivers to go down and cut the apron, go all the way down to the grass like Michael Curran's doing once again right here. All he's doing is just catching Jeff Maconi and Chris Gilbert. Both of them up here racing hard for the lead. They better watch the rear view mirror. The pole sitter's coming.
A lot of drivers trying to experiment to try and battle for the race lead. Curran is starting to pick up the pedal. After saving a lot of tire early on, we've seen him backing up the corner. He's 2/10 quicker than both of the drivers in the top two. Now it's the matter of getting alongside here. Easier said than done with some of the dirty air and us already reaching about 20 laps in a couple laps.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the fun part right here, is to see where Curran's going to go. I mean, he's kept it down here on the bottom of the racetrack the whole time that he's been sitting there catching Jeff and Chris. We'll see exactly what he does. Maybe he'll just try to get them both right here on the back stretch. Curran's going to send it. Maconi may have to stay up on the top side as Curran had a hell of a run, and he's going to even take it just a little bit further to the left rear of Jeff Maconi. He's got around Chris Gilbert and cuts it all the way down to the grass. Battle for the lead, Jeffrey Maconi, Michael Curran, right here going into turn 1 on Fast Fridays at Maconi Entertainment. How about this racing going on right here, Justin?
Side by side, Jeffrey Maconi up on the top side. Michael Curran, one of the top drivers in the area iRacing Truck Series, looking for the lead back. He started this race up on the pole, slipped back quickly, and now he slips his way back to the lead. It took him about 15 or so laps to get it back, but the 24 showing he was really aggressively saving the start.
Yeah, I mean, he was, and I'm telling you right now, Jeffrey Maconi was being very, very aggressive with the back bumper of Michael Curran. I mean, he just basically used the draft, sucked right up to the back bumper, may actually give him a little bit of a shot going into turn 1, but then backs away. Now Maconi, he's going to have to gather up. He's going to have to see if he can try to reel in Curran, but Curran is fixing to check out big time right here. If Jeff Maconi and Gilbert's got anything, if they've been saving anything, they may want to try to reel him in, or maybe, just maybe, Justin, this is playing into their favor. Maybe they're still saving right now, and Curran is putting it on the loud pedal right now.
A couple notes of note. Ryan Libby has now backed out of the race. He was running in the mid-pack we've seen before. We have had one pit stop. Send It Shiflett is already hit the wall. Had to get repairs done. Took the faster pair. Picked up a speeding penalty. Got that black flag cleared. And has nearly spun the car twice since getting fresh tires. So Aaron Shiflett's having a time.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I mean, he's definitely having a time. But even though he's 2 laps down, Justin, we've seen crazier things happen. There is a possibility he can get back.
Here we go again.
Salvage it right here. Here he goes right here. He's just trying to hold on for everything he's got. But, he can still get back in this. Get a couple cautions here in the next couple of laps. Anything's possible. He may be able to get right back in this thing.
Currently coming up to lap 25. You see how some of the times are for reference with Shiflett. He's slower than those on the older tires. So let's move away as Aaron Shiflett learns how to drive the car. And there's a lot of discussion already on the radio about the fuel window, because remember about some of the drivers that may have the varying levels of experience? Turns out a lot of drivers didn't get the fuel numbers. So once again, remember, the window thought process might be the halfway point. Drivers are already asking on the radio how early they can go here with the way it's shaping up, Jacob. And in your opinion, what would that be, lap 35?
Yeah, if they want to try to push it to that point, if they want to go early, they can go, probably say 35. But what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up screwing themselves, honestly, Justin, because, if they pit at, say, lap 35, Well, you go ahead and you take 35. Guess what? That's 70. Well, we got an 80-lap race right here. So, I mean, you don't want to really do 35. These cars will be able to make it to lap 40. They're not going to be making, I mean, you'll see some guys maybe try to go ahead and do that, two pit strategy. But like I said, in the long run, I think it's going to end up screwing them if they end up trying to go pit twice. You're going to have a lot of guys out here, like I said, saving the tires, saving the fuel. You can make it to lap 40. So I'm not sure exactly why they're saying all that. Here we go, Chris Gilbert. He's going to slide up the racetrack. Gilbert, who started second in this race, he's going to slide way out of the way from Connor Truman, and Truman's going to shoot by him. So unfortunate for Chris Gilbert, because he was up here battling for the lead with Jeff Maconi. Now he's already slid back 3 spots. But to answer your question, Justin, 35 would probably be the earliest I would go. But, I mean, I'm telling you, you can make it to 40. That's what I'd be aiming for.
And funnily enough, I believe it was Truman who was trying to figure that out. So, in turn, we'll see how that's decided here. Of note, 2 spots gained for the 25 as well. And interesting enough, you talk about a series like this, it brings the chance of different backgrounds. Here's the thing, Logan Romney, you may think, oh, he's got an 889 I rating. How is he this quick? He's on par with the leaders, mind you. Well, have you ever heard of the iRacing Champions League? It's one of the higher-up dirt series on the platform. That's his specialty, mind you. And he's one of its top drivers, getting some experience on the oval without burning up that I rating. And without burning up the fender on the spin, he's burned up the fenders, though.
Yeah, and probably burned up the tires, honestly, right there when he came off of 2 and almost lost it right there. But, Justin, to your point, I mean, I rating to me, it's just a number. I've seen drivers that don't even actually have an I rating. All they've got is a rookie class license on iRacing. And I've seen them go out there in league races and just absolutely whip people, that are, 3,500 I ratings. Now we got Romney actually up in the fence, so maybe that 800 I rating is starting to come back to bite me in the tail since I'm sitting there saying this, Justin. But I mean, it's just a number. Honestly, folks, it's just a number. The way I look at it, it is what it is as far as that number and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Some guys actually going in early right here. Jennings being one of them. Simon Woodson also being one of them. Both of them actually missed the commitment cone because they was coming in full speed trying to come in right here. Justin, I'm baffled right here at this point. They can make it to 40. What are they doing?
So a decision to try and short pit here does not play out well. This is a difficult pit entry, mind you. Chris Jennings, unsafe pit entry, and Simon Woodson, who nearly turned him into a bowling pin, has parked it as a result of his penalty. So that makes it 12 drivers left in the lead lap. And it looks like the undercut call, as mentioned, is on for some, including Charles Tuggle.
Yeah, I mean, these guys back here at the back, I mean, I could see, why they would probably want to go ahead and go in and, maybe try to leapfrog or something. Maybe try to get something going right here. But, I mean, at this point, I'm still baffled at this point. Why are they going in, when they can make it? But, I mean, undercut, however you want to look at it. I mean, I kind of see where their strategy is. Go ahead, get the 4 fresh tires, get back out there. They're obviously going to be way faster than Curran, Maconi, Truman, Gilbert, and Rose. But, I mean, as far as like a race winning strategy right now, this is not going to work right here, honestly, Justin.
So far, it's been a fairly clean race outside of the drivers with issues along the pit lane or with the outside wall for those just jumping in. So right now, it's Curhan leading by more than 2 seconds. He's 0.2 of a second quicker than the rest of the field. Coney, Truman, and Gilbert, along with Ryan Rose, inside the top 5. At this point, what's it going to take if you're in this situation? Rather, what would you do to find a way to get to this 24? You mentioned trying to stick to the pit strategy. Here's the thing. He's been very difficult to stop this long run after being not as quick on the short.
Yeah, I mean, he really has. We actually got that's Connor Truman actually going down. This is the point where, as I was saying right here about the earliest that I would go right here, lap 35, which is what Connor Truman is on right now. He's going to be able to make it all the way to the end when he makes his pit stop right here. He's going to be able to make it all the way to the end. He's going to have nothing to worry about. So I like this kind of play right here. Now, the other play, those guys, they went way too early to try to even muster something up, get something going. But this move right here by Connor Truman, I like this move right here because now he's trying to leapfrog Curran, Maconi, Gilbert, all those guys. I love this call right here because, this is his play. He's got to do something different than what the leaders are doing. And I got a feeling right here, Justin, he may end up seeing a lot of drivers coming down as we got some guys spinning going into the pits.
It's Chris Gilbert who spins it around. He was running as high as second, and now he's put it in the wall.
Yeah, and he's got to back it back up, praying that nobody comes into the pit road right there. That would be drastic, for Chris Gilbert and somebody else that ends up coming in there and cleaning him out. But wow, as you mentioned, running as high as second.
Trouble back straight away.
Replay. Now we got some guys spinning on the back.
Connor Truman just ran over Aaron Shiflett. Shiflett got loose. The 54 had nowhere to go. Somehow we're still green. Somehow Truman has no damage.
Wow, I'm telling you, that was absolutely crazy to see it over there. Truman, he's just trying to hold on, but he is one of those guys that went in early, and now here we go. We're going to start seeing more and more guys right here. Jennings, he's actually going back in, and he is going in at a high rate of speed. I think he may end up parking it right here in a minute.
Yep, he's got a black flag for speeding. Black flag, obviously, for speeding for Chris Gilbert and the unsafe pit entry as well. So a lot of penalties. Jennings is now officially out. We're just about at the halfway mark. Hearing some trouble involving Aaron Shiflett again. The 15 is drawing some eyeballs, and not the good ones. Holling-Kauser just had to take a massive dodge to avoid contact this time.
Wow, I'm telling you, folks, that's why we call him Send It Aaron Shiflett right there. He does not care. What's going on. He will send it 9 ways to Sunday. And, granted, it's like you said, Justin, sometimes it gets the wrong eyeballs to see what's going on. But, a lot of drivers are like that. That's how some of the drivers want to try to race out there. But like I said before, it ends up ticking some drivers off. As you got Charles Tuggle. He's going to try to take a look to the top side. Almost turned Shiflett. Now Shiflett going all the way down to the grass. Tuggle trying to get around Aaron Shiflett right here, but Shiflett's not going to let him have it. He's going to jump straight up in front of him. Wow, what are they doing, Justin?
Wow. Somehow, no caution. Jeff Maconi amongst those who just entered the pits, mind you. Romney just entered. Michael Curhan is coming in this time by. And we just passed the halfway point in what is turning into a wild one. Here in Calgary, and more drivers coming in. Gatti and several more. As this is potentially the battle for the race lead here with how this strategy goes and seeing how the undercuts work out.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out right here. A lot of drivers that just went in right there. Logan Romney was one of those drivers. As you mentioned, Kauser, Maconi, and even Curran. But the only driver that I haven't seen pit yet has been our leader, which is Brandon Rain. And he's the only driver to stay out there on the racetrack. He's not even thinking about it. Now he's going to start trying to ease it down. We got to be very, very careful. Let's not speed 50 miles an hour, and hits it right on the money. How about that? Brandon Ring hit that sucker right on the money. 50 miles an hour is now Shiflett sending it through the grass.
Somehow we are still green despite Aaron's best efforts, and I believe he's killed the motor. So that was a wild sequence and a wild run for the 15 tonight. Most of the field has completed pit service except for Michael Muir, who spun it out and nearly crashed it on the pit entry himself in the 30 car.
I'm telling you, Justin, I mean, you called it just a second ago. I mean, how hard it is to get on this pit road. It is one of the harder pit roads, much like, as I mentioned, Dover. This is basically a big old Dover, pretty much, is what it really is. It's pain in the tail to drive. You know, tire wear, all that stuff comes into play. And like Dover, it's hard to get on pit road as well. So, I mean, you know, wow. I mean, you know, that's how this race ends up going. But check it out right here. With that early pit stop, Connor Truman, he has jumped up to the lead. Brandon Ring just took that pit stop, but now he's going to have to try to hold off Michael Curran for 37 laps. And Curran been the fastest car here this evening. I've got a bad feeling Truman may end up getting something out of this. I just got a feeling it's not going to be the win.
Yeah, this is going to require a caution, Michael, likely in this one. Coming to 36 to go. Curran, mind you, is on 7 lap pressure tires and is already closing 3/10 a lap. Truman, not going to have an easy time whatsoever to play this defense here. Trying the middle to bottom. Curran rolling the bottom up. No, Maconi did pick up a second from his pit call by a lap. Not able to jump to 24 either. That's how quick Curran's been tonight. And it looks like Curran may have to try this a little differently. The 54 not allowing to go inside in 3 and 4. Here comes the run for the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, and I honestly, you know, for a second I thought Truman may actually try to jump down and make that block. But, I mean, you know, he saw Curran coming a mile away. He knew that he was coming. But this right here may end up helping Jeff Maconi, as Curran's actually going to slide way up the racetrack. Almost puts Truman in the fence. Here comes Jeff Maconi back here behind these guys. He's going to jump up here in this battle as Maconi, he's going to start taking it up to the top side in 3 and 4. Truman tries to take a shot. Curran swipes the bumper, and now here comes Maconi hard on the bottom side trying to get around Truman and maybe around Curran as they head into 1.
Remember, Maconi's been quicker in this race on the short run. Curran quicker middle to long run in this race tonight. Side by side as Maconi wants the clean air. Lap traffic ahead of Aaron Shiflett, who's returned to the race. Side by side for the point through 3 and 4. Maconi takes it. Shiflett nearly spins it out of 4 in front of the leaders.
Yeah, and this right here is what's going to be really crazy. I'm sure Jeff Maconi is praying as all get out right now. Shiflett send it straight down, and he will keep it all the way to the bottom. Almost slid up, and he's going to slide up. Almost gets into Truman. Wow, send it Aaron Shiflett. Almost ends up getting into all 3 of the leaders, but all 3 of them able to get around Shiflett right there. That could have been catastrophic right there and got our first caution of the evening, but all 3 of them able to get around Aaron Shiflett right there.
So back to the racing in amongst itself, though. Now it comes down to the clean air game. Remember, Maconi, he's already burned up the stuff because he just missed the bottom in 1 and 2. So if you were Jeffrey Maconi, what can you adjust right now, or what should you be adjusting, knowing you were quicker by a second last run, then Curran blew your doors off?
I mean, what it's going to have to be right here is he's going to have to save his tires. He's going to have to save them. I mean, granted, you know, Jeff and, you know, Mike, they didn't actually, or when they pitted, it wasn't as far off, Justin. I mean, both of them actually pitted right around the same time. Jeff actually pitted before Michael, so Michael obviously probably got maybe, I'd say about 1 lap, maybe 2 lap fresher tires than Jeff does. But, I mean, you know, what he's going to have to do, he's going to start backing off of the corner. And, you know, I'm sure Jeff's probably going to be watching back on this broadcast going, hey, look, I own the damn cars. I'm going to call it the way I want. But, I mean, you know, that's what I would be doing. I would be lifting and not running up there on that top side, because I'm telling you, you can get speed, you can get momentum, but you're going to burn the tires up more because you're going to end up carrying more speed, and that just builds more heat into the tires, and then you end up losing tire wear. So I'd keep that sucker all the way on the bottom and be very gentle on that throttle coming off of the corner.
Look from Curran, mind you, he backs it up about 0.3 of a second a lap at this point of the run to get that long run speed. He only was a 1/10 off of Maconi, so the equalization point already approaching with how things are shaping out here. These top 2 currently about 1.2 seconds apart, and I think this flip is switched. It's now back to Curhan advantage. He's starting to close.
Yeah, he's starting to just reel him in right here. I mean, he basically just let Jeff just go ahead, do his race. And that's one of the things that you've got to do here, Justin. You've basically got to run your own race. You can't just get out there and, race somebody else's race. You got your own race that you got to run. And I think that's exactly what Michael Curran is doing right now. He's running his race. He's not running Jeff's. He's not running Connor Truman's. He's not running Brandon Ring's. He's running his race. And I think that's what's going to end up possibly getting him back to the front. But I'm going to tell you right now, we've seen Jeff Maconi get very aggressive when we get people to try to get up there and try to make a shot at him. We'll see what happens when Curran gets to him, but he clicked it off by about 1/10 of a second right there. We still got a long way to go, Justin. I got a feeling Curran's going to get to him, and he's probably going to get to him very quick as Maconi just slapped the fence coming off of 2. Curran is going to start reeling him in big time now.
Maconi does have some scrapes now on the right front fender from that. Jeffrey Maconi is dropping like a rock. The 24 is willing to use the apron. Maconi, not so much. That's been an interesting part of tonight. Some drivers have preferred to use the apron, others have not. I know the theory, Jacob, is oh boy, what was that on the pit stop? Was that Truman?
Yes, it was. Yeah, Connor Truman's actually going in early right here. He may be trying to see if he can maybe, have something, maybe try to go ahead and get some fresher tires and try to shoot back out there. But, Justin, it was like I was saying. I mean, I'm baffled by this right here. Now, this right here is what's got me thrown off. I mean, he made a hell of a move, going in and trying to do the undercut on the other drivers. But now, going in the way that he's doing right now, he basically just threw away a top 5 finish right here.
Yeah, I was about to say, in 2013, that's a viable call in the early days of iRacing, like the V5 tire model. Not so much these days. We've seen a call like that one attempted, where they attempt to come from a lap down on fresher tires. Up at the front, though. Top line for Maconi, trying to play defense. Coming to 23 to go. Curhan closed 3 car lanes on the bottom.
Yeah, he has absolutely reeled in Jeff Maconi, and he's going to try to get this draft. Going into turn 3, Jeff's going to keep it down on the bottom. Curran's actually going to follow him down on the apron. Now Jeff, he's going to slide up just a little bit. Curran's going to slide up a little bit. 2-horse race right here as Brandon Ring's way back there, just now coming off of turn 4 rather. And he is 5 seconds back from all of this action going on right here at the front. Jeff Maconi leads. Michael Curran in second. He's trying to muster up what momentum he can as he has got to run. Here comes Curran down on the bottom. Maconi up on the top side. He may have to just back out of the gas and let Curran have it. New leader here at Chicagoland, the number 24 of Michael Curran.
Michael Curran now looks to try and set sail with 22 laps to go. Jeffrey Maconi just said on the radio, "I've got nothing for you." That's how impressive the 24 speed has been tonight. Connor Truman even just admitted the reason he tried this call was because you have to try something different.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. I mean, I really don't know about that. I mean, he already made that move. He already played that card, Justin. He already played that card to try something different and go in before the leaders went in. And, that was a killer call. This one right here, like I said, it's going to end up screwing him out of a top 5 finish because he was going to get that top 5 by a mile. But, this call right here that he's doing, obviously, he's going to be the fastest car out there on the racetrack. Well, there's a reason why. Nobody else is going to go into the pits. So, I mean, you hate to see that right there. But, I mean, Justin, that's why I say all the time, different drivers has got different agendas. They got different ways that they want to try to do something. Connor Truman's going to throw that idea out there, but he's probably going to look
back straight away.
We got some guys spinning caution. Maybe Truman may end up lucking out of this sucker. Shiflett gets wrecked.
Aaron Shiflett spins it out on his own down the back straightaway. And after about a dozen attempts, and what it seemed at least, to be able to fight his car without destroying it, Shiflett has indeed killed the race car. Here's the replay.
Yep, Shiflett right here. He's basically just going to get a little bit loose right here coming off of 2. Actually, he was trying. Look at that right there. Had the wheels all the way jacked to the left. trying to get it to turn, slaps the fence. Here comes the number 3 of Charles Tuggle. Innocent bystander. He ends up missing it, and wow, Shiflett sends it straight into the outside wall, loses the whole front bumper on the car. And Justin, this just changed everything right there with this caution right here. Curran has got to be sitting there saying, what in the hell is going on here? I had this sucker in the bag. Now, everybody's going to go down, get those 4 fresh tires. It's going to be a short run all the way to the finish.
And now it's the question of, can Michael Curran pick up tempo on the short run without sacrificing that mid-run speed? We've seen Maconi have the upper hand. And Connor Truman is the lucky dog this caution flag. So 9 of the lead lap pending the wave arounds here. So, a big time for the caution flag. And interesting enough, you had Gabriel Gotti say over the radio earlier in that, oh, I'm bored. I'm running on my own. I enjoy super speedways. Then when the caution came out, the thing that would make it interesting, well, they just got red over at pit road. So there goes that argument.
Wow, I'm telling you, that's crazy, Justin. Wow.
You get what you wish for.
Yeah, you damn sure do. You get what you want out of it. And, you think it's boring now. Look at it right there. Got his whole back bumper basically looked like he just backed into a big freaking light pole. Just got a dent. There you see it right there, right smack dab where the Ford logo is. The whole back end's jacked up. The spoiler's already up in the air. That's going to already make him sideways. So I'm going to tell you right now, like you said, if he thinks it's bored now, wait till this sucker goes green, because I'm telling you, he's going to have a handful right there in that number 12.
So, as Holling Towser looks to potentially, I think, come down because I hear he missed pit road the first time, I'm going to get some answers here because Aaron Shiflett is here. Aaron, I'm going to ask you straightforward.
Yeah.
What was that race?
Tires. It's all about the tires. Not my ideal race, but we'll be back. We'll be back. Sorry I let the fans down, but we'll be here. And yeah. Race was getting a little boring, wanted to cause them a little bit of chaos, and yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, the fans actually like that, but thank you for the answer, Shiflett.
Of course. Appreciate y'all.
Aaron Shiflett back to the koi pond. Kauser has gone down pit road. So, as expected, Curhan, Ring, Maconi, and Romney are now your top 4 here. Now, how do you battle this out? Looking like a 15-lap shootout for the win.
Wow, it changed everything right there. You got to go hard right here. You got to go hard. You got to be able to just give it everything that you got right here, Justin. Because we're coming down to the nitty gritty right here. You're gonna end up having 15 laps to go when this sucker goes green. That's what we're coming down to. You just got to send it at this point. Don't try to send it like Aaron Shiflett did right then, but send it and send it the right way and try to get up here, get you a win. Get you some points, get yourself locked in, for that Gen 4 race at Talladega here in the next couple of weeks. That's what your mindset is right now, is to send it, get a win, and be a winner here at Fast Fridays on Maconi Entertainment.
So, one more wave around, Chris Gilbert. So, 1 to go for the restart. And I believe Michael Curran's actually amongst those that have just jumped in. Curious on Michael Curran's viewpoint. Michael, you're the race leader coming to 15 to go. What's your strategy to win this race after being the king of the long run?
Yeah, this caution definitely kind of threw everything on its head. So now it's go time. It'll be kind of a sprint instead of a long run here. So we'll try to fend off everyone. I know Jeff and the rest of the pack have been pretty quick on these short runs. So I'll have my work cut out for me, but hopefully we'll keep them in our rearview mirror.
Once you get to the restart, Michael. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Michael Curran going back to prepare for this restart. Brandon Rain starts alongside. He had a good pit stop sequence. Everybody, of course, taking 4 tires and fuel, depending on the balance choice. Who do you got, Jacob?
I'm going to tell you right now, I think I'm going to have to go with Michael Curran. Honestly, I mean, our leader right here. I got to go with him. I think what he's going to end up doing, he's going to try to play the same strategy that he played a while ago, because after 10 laps, he was able to reel him in. I'm going with that 24.
Green flag is out. Back it away. Curhan, a perfect start. The Maconi setup shop drivers stay side by side. Maconi inside, Rain on the outside. Romney and company trying to figure out where to go to already rip the bottom. Romney figures out the way around Ring. Brandon Rain shuffle back to fourth already.
Yeah, Ring, I mean, he's all the way up there on the top side. He's going to have to try to find something, try to get that top lane to get it rocking and rolling. But down here on the bottom, Logan Romney, he is going to be able to get going as Maconi gets way loose right in front of Romney. He's going to get him a twofer right here, and right behind him, here comes Ryan Rose absolutely out of nowhere. He's going to get a hell of a run as they go into turn one. Wow, Justin, this sucker right here just broke out big time when they got that caution. Now they are sending it all over the place, but Rose is going to have to fall back to fourth. Here comes Ring. Ring's going to try to get a shot as Logan Romney got around all of them, and now he's going to try to reel in Michael Curran and try to take the lead in this race and may end up winning this thing when it's all said and done.
Lots of slipping and sliding. Jeffrey Maconi getting loose on the cold tires. Now Logan Romney, the dirt racer, looking to try and find pace. Curhan is still the quickest car on the racetrack, with Maconi having to fend off several drivers in the battle for third. Coming up to 12 laps to go. Right now the gap 6/10 up at the point.
Yeah, I mean, and this sucker's not over by a long shot right now. Michael Curran, granted, he has checked out just a little bit over these guys, but he sees every single one of them back there. You got Logan Romney, Jeff Maconi, Ryan Rose, Brandon Ring. How about Charles Tuggle up here as well? Started ninth, he's up to sixth. And how about Holly Kaiser? He's starting to try to close in just a little bit and try to get up here and maybe have a shot with this thing when it's all said and done. But Romney watching his whole back bumper as Maconi tries to send it in. Here comes Tuggle. He's down on the bottom. We're looking three wide coming off of turn four. And guess what they are? As then a 31 turns Tuggle straight into the fence.
Caution flag is out. Brandon Rain already out of the race. And another caution. Several drivers like Gotti have just barely avoided that contact and could sense that coming with how close it was getting off the turn exit for that battle.
Wow. Man, I'm telling you right now, I mean, it's like we said, it's like you said, Justin, we saw this right here coming a mile away right here with the aggressive moves that they were making. And there you see Romney, he was actually starting to reel in Curran. But Ring's up there on the top, 31. Tuggle smack dab in the middle. Rose down there, that is Truman actually up there on the bottom side. Bam! I mean, the 31 just comes down, gets into the right rear quarter of Charles Tuggle, ends up spinning him around. And you hate to see it. I mean, that Busch Beer kid is absolutely crunched right now. Hate to see that for both of them as Ring's backed out, and so is Tuggle.
And this caution flag can really shuffle things here. Rain and Tuggle to be expected both out of the race with that contact. So tires or no tires? That was about a 5-lap run, Jacob. What do you do?
I'm going to tell you right now, you going and getting tires. I'll be honest with you, because guess what, folks? There is no limit on the tires. I'm thinking go ahead and get those 4 fresh tires. That's exactly what Curran's thinking. Romney, he said, screw it, I'm staying out. Everybody may be thinking about it. Maconi actually jumps back out on the racetrack. Rose, Connor Truman, you got Holland Kaiser, all the guys, basically everybody but the top 3 end up staying out right here. Or the top 2, rather. Romney, Maconi, they're the only ones that stayed out right here. Wow, that right there, that's going to get crazy right there. Because like I said, Curran, he's been the dominant car. I got a feeling he's fixing to have something for Romney and Maconi right here.
It's the lucky dog this caution flag period. No drivers taking 2 tires, interestingly enough. Curhan wins the race off pit road. Rose, followed by Kaiser, Connor Truman, Chris Gilbert, and Gabriel Gotti. Of note, Gotti, as to be expected after his pit road snafu last time, does take the faster pair. But Logan Romney taking a bold call with Jeffrey Maconi here. And it becomes the simple question. Is this going to work with just those 2 staying out here?
No. I'll be honest with you. I'll just be blunt, Justin. It's not going to work. I mean, even with those 5 laps, we talked about how this track is. This track is an absolute cheese grater on the tires. Even with 5 laps, you already built the pressure up. These guys were sending it 9 ways to Sunday for those 5 laps. So, I mean, the tire wear is there, and Romney and Maconi, they may sit there and think, well, you know what, screw it. We didn't burn our car up that much. We might be able to be okay. We might be able to hold these guys off. I think not. The way I look at it, the check's already been cashed for the tires. I mean, there is no limit for the tires. Why not go down, get 4 fresh tires, and go ahead and have you a fresh car to get back out there and try to win this race? But, I mean, it's a strategy. It's like I said earlier. Different drivers make different strategies. Romney, Maconi, they throw this strategy, or they try this strategy right here to see how it plays out for them. But I got a feeling all these guys on tires is going to eat them alive.
It's going to be an interesting restart here, coming with about 6 to go, likely based on projection. We have one other driver, I believe, standing by, and it's amongst those who had to come down the second time around. Owen Kelsier now joins the broadcast booth. Talk us through this sequence of the past few laps, and in turn, being third on the freshies, Holing.
Well, yeah, it's been a rough start. I'm going to be honest. Fell back. I got 38 on my right front. I just feel like I've gotten here by just the luck, pure luck. I did good in practice, but I guess coming here, but it's just pure luck. That's my opinion.
Well, in turn, what's your strategy to get this done?
Well, I guess send it.
Simple as that. Once you get back to your road, that's Owen Kelsier getting ready for the restart. He's now been shuffled to the top for the restart, it looks like here. So that's about, I think he's still 5th, but is for some reason up top. I think we may have had the field invert trouble spot before, so the field is trying to sort out how this is supposed to go. It looks like a couple drivers are in the wrong lanes.
Yeah, this might get interesting right here. Now they kind of get it figured out. Now everybody gets swapped around, but Kelser's still up there on the top side. He's probably waiting maybe to get Truman to slide back a little bit and then let him do that. But wow, I mean, this is getting crazy as they are way back here. Romney and Maconi way back from the pace car right here. Usually, Justin, you would see them all the way up on the back bumper of that pace car and being ready to rock and roll right here, but they are way back. I mean, the damn pace car is going to end up going into pit road before they're even close to coming off of turn 4.
Getting set for the restart this time as the pace car drops off. Romney, Maconi, both on older tires by about 5 laps of green flag runs. We're back underway with 3 wide for second. Maconi didn't get the tires going. Now it's Rose to the inside. Curhan backs up on the top. Now Truman tries to go with Curhan underneath Maconi. The battle's on for the lead. Romney already under attack.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Rose in that number 78. He's trying to see if he can get this bottom lane. Try to go ahead and get it to work. He's already got around Jeff Maconi. Now he's going to send it and get around Logan Romney. Right behind him, Truman, he's going to try to follow him as well as Rose jumps up, tries to put the block. Here comes Romney. He's going to jump down to the bottom side. I'm telling you right now, Justin, he's got 5 lap owner tires, but he's sending it like they're brand new. Logan Romney back down to the bottom. He's going to try to see if he can get it going right here as Barry almost make contact. Truman goes all the way down below the white line for the lead.
3 wide for the point. Romney trying to play aggressive D. Truman trying to run the inside line, trying to make up for the strategy call earlier. Rose up in the wall. Here comes Curhan to push the 54. Still 3 wide with 4 laps to go. Which line gets the advantage is the question.
We'll see what happens right here, but Rose looks like he's going to get kicked back big time. Jeff Maconi has absolutely fell off. Now Truman almost gets into Romney. Now Rose trying to gather it up. 3 wide for second. Truman down on the bottom. Here comes Michael Curran all the way down on the bottom side. He has been the dominant car here tonight at Chicagoland. Looks like he's going to end up sending it and trying to get it all the way to victory lane, but Romney is not going to give it up. Romney trying to keep it up on the top. Curran sends it down. And don't count out Ryan Rose. He is still back there. He may end up having a say in this thing when it's all said and done.
Back to the lead goes Curhan, coming at 2 laps to go. Romney near door-to-door contact. He tries to keep up Curhan out of 3 and 4. Romney pushes up into the door. Rose tries to send it back up inside. He now gives a push to Romney down the front straightaway. Which line gets the upper hand? Curhan trying to play all the lines with how things are faring out. Romney in the door again.
Romney trying to keep it down as low as he can, and check out Ryan Rose back there. He went all the way down to the bottom and then jumped it right back up in the middle. Here comes Truman up on the top side. Curran trying to see if he can check out from all of them, but Romney's not going to let him have it. Romney slides up, gets into Truman right in the front bumper as they are hitting the white flag. Anybody's race at this point, Justin. Anybody's race.
1 lap to go, presented by Maconi Entertainment. Curhan tries to send it deep on the bottom. Tries to play the defense. Romney tries to run the wall. The battle more so focused on second. They can't close yet on Curhan. Truman nearly hooks Romney. Curhan needs to make 1 more set of corners to hold on. He was the king of the long run early. He holds off the Hornet's Nest to win tonight's Fast Fridays race at Chicagoland.
How about that right there? Michael Curran, like I said, the dominant car here this evening ends up getting a win. But I'll say this, Justin, damn it, they made him work for that one right there. He thought he was going to be able to get clear sailing all the way to the end and get that checkered flag easily. But after after send it, Aaron Shiflett ends up sending it around. I mean, then we got a stretch of cautions right here, completely threw the whole thing off. But Michael Curran able to get down, dig down deep, and find something. Able to get out here and get the win. Congratulations to Michael Curran.
There's some of the congratulations from the fellow drivers here. 40 laps led. No one could touch him on the long run. Jeffrey Maconi was better on the short run at times tonight, but fell off late in this one. So in the end, it's Curhan who wins by about 2/10. He doesn't need that back bumper anymore, so I'm not concerned. And I don't think he is either.
I don't know about that right there. I mean, that sucker might not pass tech now, Justin, with the back bumper off of it. So we'll end up seeing how all that plays out.
So he burns it on down with the win tonight. Again, tonight's action brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment. The home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more on the iRacing service. Subscriptions available as low as $8 a month. Once again, Maconi Setup Shop, the official setup shop of NASCAR, and sponsor of the NASCAR C-Fix Series. It's Curhan who picks up the win tonight in the end, though, here at Chicagoland. So as he finishes up the burnout celebrations here, that being said, we'll take a quick step aside. When we come back, we'll look at the race results. You're watching Maconi Entertainment for coverage of Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
There is a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is partnered with more real-world tracks and companies, including Junior Motorsports, than any other group on the iRacing service.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. We'll speak with Michael Corhan in just a moment. But once again, talking about the race results here tonight, it was Michael Corhan who picked up the win with 40 laps led over Logan Romney, Connor Truman, Ryan Rose, Chris Gilbert, your top 5, Jeffrey Maconi, Gabriel Gatti, with Kelser, and Charles Tuggle, your first DNF in the top 10, Ring, Shifwood, Jennings, Woodson, and Libby all did not finish as well this evening, a part of the 15 drivers who took tonight's green flag. So in turn, let's talk with Michael Corhan. As a matter of fact, I spoke with him earlier. It's Jacob's turn to speak with someone. He speaks with your winner tonight.
Yeah, Michael Curran up here in the broadcast booth, and I mean, Mike, I'm telling you right now, I mean, that was a crazy finish all the way down to the end. I mean, it's like I said on the broadcast, you were sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on? I had this sucker in the bag, but you changed up everything right there at the end. I mean, just that whole last sequence of events, just talk us through every bit of that.
Yeah, I definitely was questioning why me there when that caution came out. I thought I had it in the bag, and then the caution came out, and yeah, my whole mentality kind of had to change. The whole race, I was thinking, long run, save the tires, and then it was really just it became a 10-lap shootout there at the end. So it was just go for broke, and I really thought I was in trouble on that last restart. I think fell back to 5th, just just from the outside line, not getting off to a great start, and I really thought I was in trouble. And then the top 2 kind of got together and kind of slowed each other up, and the seas parted, and I was able to kind of stick my nose in there and just hang on barely there at the end for the win. So yeah, it was definitely an exciting finish for sure.
Yeah, it damn sure was. I mean, up here for us, up here in the booth, I mean, we absolutely loved it. And I'm sure everybody at home or watching here on Maconi Entertainment loved it. But, Michael, just tell us what it means to win a Fast Fridays, because we've seen, how chaotic these races can get and how crazy it can get. And we saw it here tonight. What's it mean to get a win in Fast Fridays on Maconi Entertainment?
Yeah, I mean it means a lot. Yeah, I mean there's really good drivers out here, so it's really intense, and it takes a lot to bring it home. You kind of have to have things go your way, like it did for me there at the end. The top 2 just didn't take tires, and so it kind of ended up being the strategy call that kind of got me the win as well. So, but yeah, it definitely means a lot. Jeff Maconi puts on a great organization and great program here, so it means a lot to get a win here.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, sir, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible tonight?
Yeah, well, I guess as I just mentioned, Jeff Maconi for putting all this together, and everyone who helps put this together. You guys up in the booth for bringing the excitement to all the fans, and yeah, just all the friends and family that are supporting me along the way.
Absolutely. Well, Michael Curran, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week for the next Fast Fridays race.
I appreciate it, Jacob. Thank you.
It's good. That's Michael Corhan coming to win with the win tonight. Thank him for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. And keep in mind, the next time out for these drivers is going to be a very different race, Jacob. Legends cars at Hickory. That's a little bit different compared to Chicagoland.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, not too much, but just a little bit, folks. I'm just joking on that one. Actually, no, that one right there, that's going to be a straight up barn burner. Hickory Motor Speedway. I mean, it's old school racing. That's what you're going to end up seeing next week. And we saw it here tonight. We saw a lot of great old school racing here tonight at Chicagoland. But there you see the schedule right there. I mean, to close out January with the Legends cars at Hickory. It's going to be an absolute blast to see that. You're going to see a lot of door banging, a lot of roughing up. May end up seeing a little bit of beef later on after that. So it's going to be a fun one next week, folks. You should. Everybody needs to check it out. It's going to be a fun one.
Yes, indeed. And to be able to sign up for that one, be sure to go to MaconiSetupShop.com/Fast Fridays to earn points towards the monthly money race. Here's a look once again at your race results. Remember, it was Curhan who led 40 laps tonight to win by about 2/10 over Romney and Truman. Rose, Gilbert, Maconi, Gotti, Kauser, Muir, and Tuggle were a part of that top 10. And we had a solid turnout of 15 total who took the green flag, and more than 20 who took part in the various sessions throughout this evening's racing action here at Chicagoland. On that note, though, I'd like to thank tonight's race sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Competizone. Covered the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Jacob Reeves in the booth, but David Kreutz producing. Thank you to all our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. We hope you stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next Fast Fridays race. And don't forget to tune in each week for our broadcast of the Top Split of the Maconi Setup Shop C-Fix Series. This been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you at the checker flag.